Welcome to the channel, and this is Chronicles of Car Culture. This is a new series that we are actually building out right now. We're going to talk about different nostalgia cars that we are actually in the process of purchasing. Most of these cars are going to be from my childhood, and then we're also going to be talking to other members out there that kind of talk about their vehicles and why they bought those cars. So we're going to get started today, and today is the Ford Excursion.
Imagine tasting water when it's brand new, or being one with nature without going it alone. You can in Ford Excursion.
Now, back in 2000, when they first released the Excursion, it was the biggest vehicle ever made. You know, this SUV, it weighed in about 8,000 pounds gross vehicle weight. It could tow over 10,000 pounds of power with the 7.3 diesel. And yeah, it was a beast. And today we're going to flash back to 2000. We're going to talk a little bit about why I like this vehicle so much. The vehicle with its F-250 style Super Duty chassis and design was just always iconic. And of course it had the 7.3 diesel motor, which was known as the Million Mile motor. So let's flash back to 2000 and let's get some more information on this. So back in the late 90s and early 2000s, SUVs were becoming the new family vehicle. And that was because minivans at the time were starting to phase out. SUVs were known for their towing capacity, as well as some spacious room for some of them with the third row seating. So the Excursion was released after the Expedition. They were looking for something to kind of compete with the Suburban. So Suburban was Chevy's design of its third row, massive vehicle, towing capacity, everything that the Expedition couldn't really do. And with the bigger motor that they just released out there for the 6.0 that they put in there, I think it was actually the 5.3 first, but then the 6.0 they eventually put in there, which had way more power. Ford had to get on board with that. So Ford decided to go and put a Power Stroke 7.3 diesel into their Excursion. Now, the Excursion technically had 3 different motors. The 3 different motors for this generation from 2000 to 2003 was the Triton V8, Triton V10, and the 7.3 diesel. Now, 2003, they released out the 6.0 diesel, and that's where they started introducing that for the last 2 years of the production line, the 6.0, which in my eyes is okay diesel, but for the most part, you got to bulletproof and put a whole bunch of work into it just to make it reliable. So we're back here with my Excursion. This is my 2001 Ford Excursion, and this has the 7.3 Power Stroke. Yes, the motor I've wanted for a while for this vehicle. I've had a couple different Excursions in the past, all with either the Triton V8, which my eye sucks, way underpowered, and then Triton V10, which was okay. It had some power, but trying to change the exhaust bolts on that really sucked. And I got videos of that up on the channel from when I was doing the overlanding stuff with that. But this was not meant for an overlanding vehicle. It's more meant for a comfortable vehicle for families and trips, because this thing is wider than a Suburban. It's taller than most garages will even let someone fit into, especially when you start moving into putting a lift kit and stuff like that. So we've already lifted this 2 inches and we put the wider tires. So what we're going to be doing with this Excursion is we're going to be building it out the way Ford probably would have done it back in here now in 2025, as far as the way it should look. We put the beefier tires on there, bigger wheels. Now I know not everybody's a fan of the wheels the way they stick out, but that's my preference. That's what I love. And of course, we're doing some performance upgrades to get her boosted up on horsepower and torque, and take that 10,000 towing capacity and beef it up just a little bit so she can definitely pull a whole bunch more. So this will be our rig that we take to shows. We're actually going out to Milton this weekend, and we're going to be doing a show out there where we'll be showing off some of our progress. It is not done. It's not even close to being done. But we are in the process of going to pick up our Civic, which will be another one. And yeah. You know, I've loved SUVs since I was a kid, and that's why the Excursion has always been one of them for me, because I wanted something big for my whole family where we can take that and not have to worry about having two different vehicles. Now, I did have minivans growing up because they were cheap, but when the Excursion came out, I really wanted one, but they were stupid money. And now that the prices have come down a little bit on them, not very much for even the diesel ones, I'm seeing the 7.3s even still come back up on some of those because people are wanting those over any of the other diesels that the Excursion came with this, which was the 6.0. So one of the other things too we are going to be upgrading is, you know, for the tech back in 2000, it wasn't very much. And the screen that was in here was just a regular radio, wasn't anything fancy. We've upgraded it to a CarPlay, wireless CarPlay Kenwood deck, and we're in the process of putting like front dash cam, rear recording. We're actually upgrading all the USBs in here to, I'm sorry, the cigarette lighters to USB chargers because that's what most people use nowadays. We don't smoke. And of course, when we bought it, it had these amazing seats. Somebody had redone. So we didn't have to worry about doing anything like that. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of clean her up a little bit, get her ready for shows and showing her off. Plus we have the DS18 and Diamond Audio stuff that we're gonna be retrofitting. I'm not sure which one's getting fitted with what yet. Diamond has, our bike Diamond, our Harley Davidson, has all Diamond Audio gear. So I might retrofit this one with the DS18 gear so people can hear the difference between the two. And then we are actually looking into another brand, the CT brand for subwoofers and speakers. So then the Civic might actually get that too. So we are dressing this up. We do love audio video. That's where most of our channel comes from, is from doing this kind of stuff. And since a kid, since I was young, I was tearing stuff apart and building it and doing all sorts of different things, which is funny because everybody's like, you can't build it, Ford built this. Yes, I understand Ford built this SUV, but we're going to build it to our way that we want to. So we're going to be modifying it and lifting it and doing modifications to the way we felt like Ford probably should have done it in 2025. So yeah, if you guys are interested, comment down below. We are looking for people that we want to talk to and why they bought the cars they bought. We want to know more about them and go from there. So yeah, hope to hear from you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next video.